Good afternoon. This is RCB News, and I am Ryan Bolin. Today, I want to talk about the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas particularly, and how the mainstream media and the far leftists are trying to ruin it for everyone else. But right off the bat, before I go into any detail about these holidays, I want to say I hope each and every one of you have had a happy Thanksgiving. God really blessed me with I was able to attend my sister's little shindig that she had. And she invited me, my mom, my brother, my nieces, my nephews over to her house. And we just had a great festive time. We usually do all the time when my older sister has these little things. We usually always have a great time. And I was so grateful that when it was all over, we just laughed and before it was over, actually, for like hours on end, we just laughed and talked about all kinds of crazy stuff, movies. We even talked about, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but we kind of talked, but I'll give a little hint. We talked about the comparison of okra, oatmeal, and boogers. I'm not going to go into detail of that. And we was back and forth trying to explain how they're similar. But it was just a very great time. And I really was thankful to God that he had blessed me to see another year and to spend time with my extended immediate family. But I want to talk a little bit about the holidays. I know it's past, but I want to give a word, hopefully, of encouragement to those who have been watching CNN, MSNBC, and other leftist mainstream media outlets who are spending this entirely bogus attempt to discredit Thanksgiving and to discredit Christmas. And now listen, I'm not going to get into all this historical stuff. I'm not going to get into this idea that, what was it? I forget exactly the name of this particular reporter, but I believe it was on MSNBC, where she made the statement in her introduction that when you're eating turkey or whatever, you're eating on the land of dead people, or something like that. She said that was just so disgusting that I decided not to even bother to even watch whatever, listen to whatever else she had to say, because why would I subjugate myself to that and then go into Thanksgiving, go my sister's house mad and angry and frustrated at the stupid stuff they're saying. So I'm not going to even get into, excuse me, the historical aspects of this, whether or not the Americans stole the land from the Indians and all this other kind of nonsense. I'm not going to get into that. All I'm going to say is this: do not let these people ruin your holiday. First of all, regardless of what you think about Thanksgiving, or regardless of what you think about Christmas, or regardless of what you think about Easter in terms of history, at the end of the day, it's all about being with family members. Some people haven't seen their families for like a year, or maybe even years. And now they get a chance to spend time with their families and reminisce about things in the past and just show love and appreciation for each other. Don't let these people ruin your holidays. That's what they want to do. It's interesting to me that these reporters and journalists on these leftist media outlets spin this kind of story, spin these negative aspects about Thanksgiving and Christmas. I can't help but wonder, how do these people sleep at night? How do you sleep at night knowing that deep in your heart that you probably don't believe half of the stuff that you say? I can look on the faces of many of these reporters on CNN and MSNBC, and I can see they're trying to remember what they had to read on the script, or probably reading from a teleprompter. More than likely, they're reading from a teleprompter. They're told what to say. And I know people say, well, they get paid a lot of money. And I said that in a previous video that I made in reference to reporters and journalists being paid tens of thousands of dollars a week to spin these tales. Yeah, money does talk. Money does talk. But at the end of the day, don't you think that the worship of money that at the end of the day, you start feeling a certain kind of way because you love money more than the truth? I mean, let's face it. What if something even greater in terms of deception comes on the scene? Are you going to basically renounce all moral principles, basically renounce all right and wrong in order to get that money and then spin this lie to the millions of people that's listening to you? How could you live with yourself? How could you sleep at night? How could you look yourself in the mirror? And it amazes me that through the whole year, well, let's just put it like this. For decades, as I said earlier, for decades, Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter have been holidays that Americans have been celebrating for decades. We've been celebrating for decades without much of any problem. Now, I know there's some variations with history and so forth about, well, Jesus wasn't really born on December the 25th, and that's actually a pagan holiday, the sun god. I get all of that. I get that. Well, people talk about Thanksgiving and, well, actually, you're celebrating a travesty because the Americans stole the land from the Indians and slaughtered the Indians. But there's so much to that. I'm not going to even go into all of that. This is not a history lesson, so I'm not going to go into all of that. I understand all of those variations, but at the end of the day, isn't it all about family? Isn't it all about coming together as a family? Thanksgiving means to be grateful to someone for something. Now, for me, Thanksgiving, I give thanks to God because I believe in God, and as a Christian, I give thanks to God for salvation. I give thanks to God for life, health, the use and activity of my limbs, having a mind to be able to think, because there's a lot of people that can't think. There's a lot of people whose minds are messed up. I'm a professional security officer that work downtown at Tower City. And I see every day homeless people and people who are mentally ill can't even talk straight most of the time. And here I am, clothed in my right mind. So when Thanksgiving come around, I'm not sitting up here thinking about, man, America, they stole the land from the Indians. Oh, I ain't gonna work. Man, get out of here with that foolishness. At the end of the day, it's all about being thankful. And if not to God, thankful for your family members. Coming together, embracing each other, and showing love and adoration for each other for another year. That's what it really all comes down to. It's all about family and coming together and showing each other how much you appreciate how each one of you may have contributed good to the life of another family member. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't get this opportunity. They don't get the opportunity to come together as families. But when you do, don't let the liberal media ruin it for you. If you have to not watch them when it comes around to the holidays, don't watch them. Because the main purpose, and it's much deeper than what a lot of people think, the main purpose is to ruin your holidays. That's nothing but a trick of the devil. To ruin your holidays so that when you come together, you feeling guilty, you feeling bad, especially white people. That's really what it's all about. Because that's really what it's all about. Once again, it comes down to this racist thing. Well, the Europeans and the whites, they stole land from the Indians, as if no other ethnic group or race group slaughtered other groups. The Africans did it. The Asians did it. Every ethnic group was involved in the past in some atrocious activity towards another ethnic group and even their own ethnic groups. So we can't pin this all on Europeans. We can't pin this all on Europeans. For centuries, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but for centuries, before the transatlantic slave trade, which began in the latter half of the 15th century, centuries before that, Africans were enslaved rather. I'm not going to say, but you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get sanctioned here on YouTube. I'm new, so I can't afford that. But they were enslaved by this group, this religious group, for centuries before the transatlantic slave trade even begun in the 15th century when the Europeans were involved in it. So what was going on with that? And in fact, some historians say it was even worse. It was even, well, I wouldn't say worse, but just as bad as the transatlantic slave trade. It was just as brutal and lasted twice as long for hundreds and hundreds of years. Where everybody hooping and hollering about American slavery was over 300 years, this other slave trade lasted way more than that. Almost, 800, 900 years? When this particular group invaded North Africa in the 700 years AD? Oh, come on now. I ain't gonna go into any detail about it, but look, every ethnic group have performed some atrocious activity towards another ethnic group, and some of those ethnic groups are their own ethnic groups. Every one of them have done it. So let's stop trying to make this just a Eurocentric situation. That's nothing more than a communist move and a Marxist move, rather, to be more specific, to conquer and divide. Conquer and divide. Stop letting these people divide you. Stop letting these people ruin your holidays. Enjoy your holidays. Christmas is coming up. That's right, I said Christmas. I ain't say happy holidays. Forget that nonsense. Christmas is coming up. Don't let them ruin your holiday, because that's exactly what they're going to do. You went all this time, you ain't said that all this time, and here's another thing too. I didn't see this. I didn't during Halloween. I didn't bother to listen to what MSNBC and CBS were saying about Halloween. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't negative. I'm pretty sure it wasn't negative. You want to know why I believe that? And I could be wrong because I didn't watch it. But I'm going to assume that it wasn't really negative, like they're trying to spin with Thanksgiving, and they're going to spin with Christmas, and they're going to spin with Easter. Because on that holiday, some historians say that on October 31st is the day most young people and children disappear in America. And you want to know why they say on October 31st, most young people disappear and young children disappear? It's because these historians believe that they're kidnapped by Satanists and sacrificed to Satan. Now, whether or not you believe in Satan or not, it doesn't matter. These people do. And according to these historians, they kidnap these kids and sacrifice them. Okay, I guarantee you the mainstream media ain't said nothing about that. Their mouths are sealed. Their mouths are sealed. But when it comes to Thanksgiving and when it comes to Christmas, they demonize it. Cut it out. Stop letting them ruin your holiday. The devil is a liar. Okay? So I just wanted to say that right up front. Don't let these people ruin your holidays. Let me tell you something before I close on this, though. And this is a responsibility that we all have to take up. I think that those that know some aspects of history have to take some responsibility in explaining it. And here's the thing that's interesting here before I close. For a while, my sister had stopped having these little Thanksgiving shindigs and so forth. She had stopped having them. And at one point, I thought it was just for financial reasons. But what I found out was that she was being told that we shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas. We shouldn't celebrate it as paganism, as this, as that, and the other. I said, okay, all right. Then I had another family member that was feeling the same way. So when Thanksgiving would come around, we didn't come together. Thanksgiving come around, we didn't come together. And the same story was being spun. We shouldn't be celebrating these holidays. And I think it was based on both racial and religious reasons. And I said, okay, I get that. Okay, if you want to make it that way, I'm not going to argue with you. But I said this to this one family member. I said this. Isn't this all about coming together as a family members? Okay, let's assume that it's an evil holiday. Thanksgiving is evil, and the Europeans slaughtered the Indians and stole the land of America from them. Ooh, let's assume that's the case. Let's assume Christmas is a pagan holiday on December the 25th. It's a pagan holiday. It's a worship of the sun god, which is foolish because when Christians come together on Christmas and are worshiping Christ, they're not worshiping the sun god. And I'm pretty sure God, the God of the Bible, is smart enough to know that we're not worshiping the sun god, but that's another story, and I digress. Okay, assuming that be the case, isn't this all about family, coming together as family members and showing love for one another? Because we's all we got. As one person said it, we's all we got. And if your family is all you have, and they've shown you love, and maybe you've had your ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you're family. And family is oftentimes all most people have. So I began to explain that to her. And now they're beginning to switch it around. Now all of a sudden we had my sister invited us over her house for the Thanksgiving, and we had a great time. I like to believe I had something to do with that. Do not let these people ruin your holidays. Don't let them ruin your holidays. But I just wanted to say that and end on that note. So what do you guys think? Just leave your comments in the comment section below. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Not no happy holidays, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's how I do it. God bless you all, and see you again on RCB News. If you like this channel, if you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all.